Hey guys, Seahorn Spikes here with a new round net solution for you guys. This week we are specifically going to try and tackle the issue of the moving net while you're practicing. I don't know about you guys, but this drives me absolutely nuts, especially when I'm doing serving. So if I'm serving by myself and drilling, every time that I hit the net, or like the rim, or a hard lip, or a lobster trap underwards, it might move the set off of center, sometimes significantly, sometimes just a little bit. And it just drives me absolutely nuts when I'm trying to, go 10, 20 balls at a time and then go shag them. That's way more efficient than having to serve. And then every time I slightly miss serve, I move the net significantly enough that I have to go walk 6 feet, center it, then walk back 6 feet, and then God help me if I wind up hitting the rim again. It's so frustrating to have to keep moving that. So our goal is going to be to anchor that set reliably to a point that you won't have to move it as much while practicing, and it's going to increase the efficiency of your practice time. So let's get into my new solution. All right, so first off, right here, what you have is the Chorn Store. Chorn Store is my place where I am putting all the things that I think are going to help you on your journey to become a top player. These are things that I use and things that I specifically have bought myself, and it's brought to you through the power of Amazon. We all know that we all have Amazon Prime, and if you don't, your parents probably do, so use that. So basically what these are solutions that I'm putting together in order to get you doing some of the things that I'm doing and answering a lot of the questions that I have. So you want to know what I'm doing to start training, you click on this tab, and you'll see all this amazing stuff. This is all the exact stuff that I'm using in my own gym right now in my basement in order to train. No excuses, no days off. These are supplements that I'm taking in order to, treat my body right, recover, and focus on all of that stuff. There's tons of stuff. If you want to learn about streaming, there's great. The mobile streaming setup I highly recommend as well. It's also good for just mobile recording in general. Those microphones are really cool. Anyway, moving right along. This is where you're going to go for solutions, and as long as this works, it will be added to the Chorn Store right at the end. So this is the product specifically that I am looking for right now. This is called the Quick Dam QD610-1 Water Activated Flood Barrier 10-foot black. Here's the idea with this. So what this is basically a sandbag that's compressed, and what this is supposed to be for when things flood. You basically put this down preemptively, like if you don't want your garage to flood, you'd put this down in front of your garage door, and then when the floods come, the water will absorb into this. You kind of fill this with this chemical, and you'll see it inflates up. So what we're interested in here is not actually the chemicals that we're going to add to it. What we want to do is actually just fill this bad boy with sand. We want to use this as a vessel to create a giant long sandbag that's also relatively high, that's going to weigh down the set and prevent it from shifting there. So basically we'll be able to curl this up ideally right underneath the set, and it should prevent everything from moving here. Couple of specs on it right here. One, I'm always looking to save the most money when I'm doing this. I'm looking for cheap but effective solutions. So price $25. This is a great start. All we're going to need in addition is sand, and then we're going to have to make sure that we're able to close this thing back up. I assume that wherever we add the chemicals, we'll just be able to kind of close that back up. So this should be a really, really cheap solution here. Looks like you can get one of them for $25 or two of them for $120. So maybe this is just on some like super sale or something like that. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to get one while you can. So $25, and we're going to fill this thing up with sand. So that is the goal here. Goal is going to be to simply grab this and create a barrier that prevents the set from shifting, and also won't impact play around the net. It should just stay under it. So Let's create this giant long sandbag. Let's get into the journey of this.
2 days later.
All right, we're in the lab. Our new toy has arrived. Let's check this bad boy out. Courtesy of Amazon, by the way. Make sure to go check out the Chorn store, assuming all goes well. This will be available here for you to pick up so that you can build it yourself for your own setup. So this is our guy, 10 feet long, so it's huge. Remember, we need all of that in order to get the circumference around the net, which is just over 9 feet. We're gonna try activating this and see what happens. I really hope that this thing is as absorbent as they say, because otherwise I'm gonna have quite a mess to clean up. Preliminary results are pretty good. It definitely is soaking everything up. It really didn't leave a whole lot on the ground. I think we just gotta water this thing more. Well, this has been going all right. As you see, like, it's not leaking anything, which is great. But let's just not mess around anymore. Let's throw this thing in a tub. Start off nice and easy here. We'll just try a couple warm-ups. All right, looking okay. Well, if I hit the dam part, nothing moves. That sure didn't move much. All right, it has definitely already moved a couple of inches. Not looking great. Guys, I'm sure you're screaming at your camera too. Why on earth did I not think to put this on the outside? So believe it or not, we might actually need a slightly bigger one. Seems like 10 isn't gonna do it, but I think the next level up is like 16, which seems excessive. I'm gonna sleep on this one. We're gonna come up with a better idea for this.
The next morning.
All right, so we've got our bag outside now, and unfortunately, because this didn't work how I thought it was, we're actually gonna have to cut into the bag, but I think this is gonna work. So now that I've activated all of the material by dousing this in water, we're just gonna cut one end of it off, dump everything out, and then put the sand in. So I did look at the box as well, and the way that you dispose of this after you're done is by putting it in the grass. So you can actually put this on your lawn and it's 100% safe, just letting you know. So we're just gonna dump everything out. All right, and now the fun part, let's turn this bag into a sandbag. So now all we got to do is relock this bad boy up. So let's take this into the garage and glue it. All right, so you're officially in the last step of the building phase, which is just closing this back up. I personally am going to be using Gorilla Glue. So we're going to do one layer of glue down here, about an inch in, all the way across, and put that, mat it down. Then we're going to do one right across the top here. And then we're going to fold it over and we're going to glue. And this way there's 3 seals on it. That way no sand is coming out. So we're going to let that sit overnight and then we're going to test this bad boy out. All right, next day, this should be dry after 24 hours. Good, looks like the glue actually took a little bit of the box with it. You can see that, but sturdy. Like this is not going anywhere. Let's try it. See in here. Perfect. Now all we got to do is take this outside and test it. Let's go. All right, so good news, bad news. Good news, the net really didn't move that much. Bad news, it did exactly what it did the last time with the weights. The legs started to bow out like this, you see? And so the set didn't go anywhere, but now the legs aren't straight. It also happened to this leg over here. That's where my serve was hitting. So we're gonna try and move this from the inside to the outside. All right, good news, bad news about this one now. The bag is actually not big enough to go all the way around the outside of the net. It makes it the majority of the way, and in fact, you can cover all the legs as long as you leave this space right here, which I think is basically going to accomplish what I want. It's going to anchor all the legs, and especially the ones towards the back of the net, because most of the net pushing is going to be forward and left and right. So I think if we can prevent that, it should be good. Test number 2. Okay, so I probably just served about 30 balls. This is the state of the net. Truly not bad at all. Got a little bowing in of the legs, which is actually better than the bowing out. This leg finally went up on it instead of under it. But in general, this thing did not move at all. This is exactly what I was going for. I think this is pretty good. I think if you can serve 30 balls at it and then have to do some minor adjustments, that's just 100 times better than having to do it every couple of balls or even every 10. 10's still too low. 30, God, you could buy 30, or you could buy 3 racks of balls. 3 racks of pro balls and then have to adjust it. That's exactly what we're going for. And that was a creation of the serving sandbag. It was a fun little ride for me. I know I've been testing out a couple of things before this, and I thought that this one was really going to work. So I'm glad that I finally got to recording and sharing this process with you. I think this one is 100% workable, and I think it's ready for the Chorn store. If you disagree and you think that there's a better way to do this and a better product, I'm of course interested in hearing that. I'm interested in solutions. I'm not interested in being correct. But I do think that this is a great way for you to up the quality of your practice when just doing one simple project. All right, so let's do a full breakdown of the product itself. Again, everything you can find on Amazon.com/shop/seahornspikes. So when we go here, you'll see my store. Serving sandbag is now its own category, and everything that you need is contained within there. So main ingredient being the flood barrier bag. Those are going for $24.98 at time of recording. Then you're also going to need sand. So I found this play sand here for $23.50. That's about 50 pounds. I think I threw in a little over 50. Definitely don't need a full 50, but I think 50 is probably what you want. So get yourself 50 pounds of sand as well. And then Gorilla Glue, of course. $4.25 for 2 quick sticks. I know that'll at least cover this bag. You'll probably have a little bit extra left over as well. Now, also do keep in mind that you don't have to buy everything in this kit. I'm just putting everything there in order to do it. So if you already have sand, or you already have Gorilla Glue, or you know your neighbors just have a bag of sand, or you saw one in your parents' garage, ask them if you can borrow it. Ask them because you're putting it to use and they're not. And you can get the cost of this down all the way to like 25 bucks. I had my own sand. I have my own Gorilla Glue. So this only cost me 25 bucks. All in here for you guys, it would be what, 25, 24, and 4. So 28, 25, $53, which also isn't that bad, especially if you're someone that's practicing consistently, serving something that you're going to be doing all the time, and you're going to want a solution in order to stop having this be a problem. So let's go ahead and talk pros and cons here. So pros of this, it's really, really simple. There's only 3 ingredients, 2 of which you probably already have around your house, and the other one is a little bit more of a specialty item, but it's cheap. It's also way more effective than all the other solutions I've tried. I've tried weighing down the legs individually, and I've tried doing that Velcro, like I said, and it's just not the same. I think you need something that encompasses the entire set and locks the entire set in place so that the weak points at certain legs don't start to fold in and bow out as much as they will if you put something around the entire set. We also learned that it's a little bit more effective to put it around the set instead of inside the set. Inside the set, you're going to get a decent amount, but those legs are going to bow in a little bit more. So once you do that, unfortunately, the added perimeter there is actually going to get in the way of practicing hitting. But as soon as you try to hit like right at the net, it's getting in the way of where your foot wants to go naturally under the net if you're doing a really, really good hit. So maybe it's not the best hitting solution, but in general, if you're already near the net, it's not a big deal to adjust it really quick if you absolutely have to. So I think in general, this is a really good serving solution. And of course, I'm also interested in hearing what you guys have to say. So if you guys have found a better part, let me know. I'd love to upgrade the rig here. And again, like I said, I'm interested in solutions. I'm not interested in being correct. Again, you can find everything on the Chorn store. Let's go ahead and take a look at that again. So you can find everything here on the Chorn store. That's that's Amazon.com/shop/Seahorn Spikes. And while you're there, go ahead and browse some of the other stuff too. See if there's anything that's to your liking. And let me know what you want me to try and tackle next. My goal is to try and find a lot more solutions here, and identifying some of the problems that you're having while you practice will help me do that. So feel free to reach out to me on all social platforms, Seahorn Spikes, pretty much everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. Just find me somewhere. Definitely want to talk about this stuff. And to be clear, I have a couple of more projects in the works that I'm super excited to keep experimenting with and take you along for the entire journey and show you some solutions that are going to get you practicing even better like a pro. Thanks, guys. This one was super fun. Again, go check out the Chorn store, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's go!